Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the What's Happening podcast episode. Shelby.
5.
Wow.
I almost forgot.
Be a little more excited next time.
5.
There we go. I'm your host. Week in and week out. Well, every other week I'm your host.
Mm-hmm. But like every week of the podcast, you're the host.
I didn't want to say it. As always, Shelby and I are going to be tackling all the things that are happening in our lives. But more importantly, we're going to be tackling some stuff that's going on in the lives of
y'all.
Yeah, those around us. So, again, this is a bi-weekly podcast. On the weeks that we don't do the podcast, we release a video. And if you're watching the YouTube version of this, you can see my hair. A little blue, maybe. Maybe you can see it, maybe not. We also had a video on
how we made it blue
and dyeing my hair. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so we put it out there as we do in all of our videos. But I think we're going to start pushing it a little more. Give us a story of when X happened.
If it's topical or...
Yeah, if it's topical to our video.
Or you can always just kind of, if anything like really funny happened recently, you can literally just, that's a really easy place to put it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of what I tweeted. If you follow me at The Basement Gamer, GAMR, on Twitter, I'll try and remember to put a tweet out each podcast week before we record the podcast. Just a general what has happened, as the podcast states.
Are you trying to painfully say what's happening like over and over again?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, so we have 3 what's happening stories, I guess we can call them for right now. I don't have a fancy name. Like, welcome to the what's happening with you, something like that. Anyways, we have 3. Do you want
I'll start.
Well,
we'll go back and forth.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. So I've got one that was
same
specific to the video.
Yeah.
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 Oh, okay. Perfect. Yeah, we'll go back and forth because you have 1, I have 2.
Yeah.
People love me more.
No big deal.
So on the YouTube video, bleaching my boyfriend's hair and dyeing it blue, plus styling tips.
Well, who named that video?
You did.
Oh, shit.
Way to
no wonder it sucks.
game the system. YouTube user and good friend of the show and my life. One Mr. Michael Heiner said, one time I put a 30-day dye, with quotes around that, in my hair. And it lasted 6 months. I kept buzzing my head, but the color kept coming back.
I have so many questions about that.
So I vaguely remember this. If I remember correctly, this was for one of our musical
shows, okay,
productions that Mike and I put on by ourselves.
No, as you often did.
And I believe it was like a reddish brown color that he had it dyed.
Oh God!
And it lasted a long time.
Why? I don't know how that's a thing.
He just has really good hair.
No, but like how your hair? He cut the hair. How does it come back?
Maybe they did a really good job of getting the roots. I
guess it's possible. I don't know hair, but that doesn't make any sense.
I don't know.
Not that I don't believe him, I'm just so confused on the matter.
Shelby doesn't believe him, so
calling him out, it's bullshit.
No, I think it was probably they got really close to the roots and got really down in there, and then a mix of maybe his hair doesn't grow that fast.
True.
Which I don't know.
I don't know. Hasn't he always had short hair? So I literally don't know.
So if you have short hair and you buzz it and
it's bigger difference probably, yeah.
It's gonna, but then once it kind of grows out again, the color's still there and you're like, oh shit. Cool. So that was one that pertained to the video.
Yeah, good one.
Bleaching my boyfriend's hair and dyeing it blue.
Also, like 30-day dye, I feel like it's very odd. I don't think I've seen that advertised probably in years, so because now you just say semi-permanent because it's it's just gonna wash out.
Semi-permanent.
I mean, yeah. But I haven't heard a timeline on a dye in ever. But but that's really fun. I mean, obviously, it just is another way of saying it'll come out soon. But I know, this isn't along those lines. This wasn't sent in to us, but I remember this happened. Before I was like actually dyeing my hair, I used to just spray it with those like colors you can get from Party City and stuff, because those were bright enough that they would take to dark hair, but they were like, they'd only last like 1 or 2 showers and then they were gone.
Right, and you only shower
like once a month. Yeah, so it was my 30-day dye. So my sister and I used to have bottles of that kind of on stock. We'd get them on sale like after Halloween and have a few in our drawers, and we would like, I would have purple streaks in my hair and whatnot in like high school and shit.
That's really cool.
I know, I'm so cool.
You're so edgy.
I am. No big deal. So we would do that, and we're like, these work great. And so one of my mom's friends who has like white hair, my sister and I have like dirty blonde. Mine's more on the brown side. What?
Susan?
Yeah.
Yeah, this was
recently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Do you remember this?
Yeah.
Yeah, because we were like, oh my god, these dyes are great. You just spray them in, and they don't last that long. But one, that's coming from 2 people who like. My sister's hair is more blonde, but like
dirty blonde.
It's like dirty blonde, so like things don't take super.
Disgusting.
She's disgusting.
No, you too.
Oh shit. So dyes don't take like super well to our hair, like holding color and whatnot, because our hairs are darker. But we were like, they come out within like max 2 to 3 washes. She sprays her head like pink or purple.
I think it was pink.
I think it was pink because I think it was for a breast cancer run. Wasn't it for that?
Yes, it was.
And it stayed forever. It did not come out of her hair, but her hair is like white, like is literally white. So I remember that was hysterical, and she was like, "You said it would come out," which I don't think it really didn't matter. It's not like she was like in trouble or anything.
Fired.
Yeah, she lost her job.
She lost her home. That was a weird thing.
Kicked her out. But yeah, it stayed like weeks, if not longer. It stayed forever, which I felt really bad, but it was also really funny.
I feel like 30-day dye is a crappy reality TV show. Like 30 Day Fiance.
That would be like some kind of hairdresser reality TV show.
Yeah, you've got 30 days. You have 30 days to create a dye that lasts only 30 days, and whoever gets closest wins.
But wait, do you have those 30 days to create it, and then you have 30 days after that to test it?
And then it's like when you have a reality TV show, and like they're like weekly showing you how they did stuff weekly, and then all of a sudden it's like 30 days have just miraculously passed, and you're like, whoa. Wait, how did that happen? And they're like, this was shot 4 years ago, and you're like, oh,
okay.
It would be like that.
Oh, okay.
And then like at the end of like the second 30 days, they bring in the people who tried the hair dye, and they'd be like, is it still there? When did it wash out?
This would be quite
You're
the show.
Winner.
Congratulations.
Yeah, 3 people. It's only 3 contestants. First place gets $1 million.
Everything's in threes. No.
What?
They get either $3 million or $300,000. Everything's in threes.
Okay. First place gets $3 million.
Yeah.
Second place gets $1.5 million.
Whoa.
Third place gets $300,000.
So everyone's a winner.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, cool. I'm on board with this.
All right, what is the second?
So my actual
what's the second
story.
happening?
Oh no! So my second happening. This was sent to me.
This is your first.
Shut up! I also posted, as Spencer did to his Twitter. I posted to my Instagram at Shelby and Lives.
Is that a plug?
No. And I posted a little fun thing, and I was like, "Hey, give me any hair stories.
Give me money.
Give me money." And also dear friend and. I don't know if she listens. Whatever. I was gonna be like supporter of the show, but I was like, I have no idea if she listens to this. But a dear friend, Sierra, she didn't specify otherwise, and it was in my DM, so I'm not gonna like give her thing if she doesn't want it to be. All she said was, which this is like a girl's nightmare when they go to get their hair done. Like the true nightmare is like you get too many inches cut off. You're like, hi, I just want to trim, and they take like 8 inches off your hair. Take this a step farther. Quote, hairdresser gave me unprompted straight across bangs. I looked like Hermione in the first film. How does a hairdresser just give you bangs without you asking for them? First question. Maybe get a different hairdresser. But she just said, and then it continued. And we were talking about it, and she goes, at the same time, I was also missing 2 of my front teeth and was in 8th grade. Very brutal year. So I just want to give a shout out.
Oh no.
Because you're so strong. And I literally said that's a nightmare of a middle school experience, but you're a stronger person because of it.
So brave. Yeah, that's definitely a thing that... What's wrong?
Nothing.
Oh. You okay?
Yeah.
Weird. You're making a face.
No, you're good.
That's like definitely a thing that like girls have to worry about.
Oh yeah, it's like a very serious fear.
Like I know me personally, I don't think I have any
hair fears because you can just cut it off at the end if it doesn't work.
Yeah, and I mean the also benefit there is that I've always had short hair. But I feel like most guys, depending on hairline, can get away with just buzzing their hair and it looking
yeah
fine.
I mean also if you've always had short hair, it's not as drastic of a change to just keep having short, like if it gets shorter, you know, whereas like especially I mean Sierra has ridiculously long hair, like literally it touches her butt, so like just especially for girls who have anything like below the shoulders, a trim is like a very dangerous experience because you're like, this might turn into a bob, this might turn into a whole different hairstyle I was not anticipating walking into these doors. So that's like definitely a very scary experience. Not one I've had too often as I cut my own hair, but yes, a lot of people have that fear.
You do cut your own hair and definitely
I change it up.
What do you think you'd look like with bangs?
What would I look like with bangs?
I don't know.
Remember when I had bangs for a whole month last year?
Yep. Remember how you hated them?
I didn't hate them. I really didn't. I just am not someone who likes to have a routine to my life. So the idea that I every day had to wake up and like do something with them was a very big turn off for me. And I'm not a fan.
You're a really big turn off for me.
Yeah.
Shall we get into the last half?
Yeah, do the last one.
All right. Also, friend. Dear friend.
That's probably going to be a theme for quite a while.
For sure.
Wait till we run out of friends.
Twitter user who responded to my Twitter ask. Twitter user Bredesen Boyle at B_B1229.
Holy shit.
And Bredesen said, I got an offer. This was more of a...
This is a life update.
Yeah, this was like a...
Yeah, which
news.
Also we are totally up for those.
Yeah.
I love anything that's happening.
This was a good news happening.
Hell
not
yeah.
a relevant story happening.
Yeah.
I got an offer to be a paid sports writer again for AmericanBettingExperts.com. So that's cool.
That's really, really cool.
Brett, he wrote for... I don't want to get this wrong, but I think Fansided for a little bit. But regardless, he was doing sports writing for a little bit, and I know he enjoyed it. And with like college and stuff like that, I guess just didn't feel like he could keep up with it enough. But now,
it's the time,
potentially
most
because of quarantine and everything, realizing some extra free time, he's getting back into it.
That's so cool. I mean, also because obviously, like, college, your life is kind of all over the place. I mean, yeah, you technically have a schedule, but let's be real, there's always like social events and whatnot, and like now actually working, your life's probably a little more scheduled in, and like you're kind of more confined to something. So no, but that's like really, really cool. Very, very happy for you.
Absolutely.
Get your dreams done.
Jealous. There's a while where I wanted to write.
Yeah, I remember that.
Do like sports writing. And I just couldn't keep up with it. I'm not a good writer.
I don't know if I would agree with that.
I don't think I'm a good writer.
I wouldn't consider you, like, I couldn't see you writing day to day.
Yeah.
Like, I see you, like, when you, like, sit down to write something, you're like, there you go. And it's generally very comical. Generally, like, there's a lot of personality in your writing. But, like, yeah, I can definitely, like, I think if you had to do that daily, I don't know.
I don't think I could do it.
I don't know about that one.
I don't know about that one either. All right. Do you personally have any happenings that you want to talk about? Do you have any hair dyeing
experiences?
Or just anything general from life. Like, I don't know. New job, new car,
No.
new lottery winner, anything like that. Anything fun, exciting?
I don't have anything fun or exciting. The most fun thing I've done recently is go outside. That was fun.
Cool.
How about you?
Well, again, if you follow me on Twitter, you'll see that I, just yesterday, or 2 days ago, I can't remember now.
I have no idea.
Got my first...
It was yesterday, because yesterday was my day of confusion.
Yes. I got my first Twitch paycheck. I'm officially on the payroll.
Does one Twitch check count as being on the payroll? I guess they happen. Technically.
But yeah, that was cool.
That was really cool. Okay. Oh yeah, that was so cool. Oh my god.
I need you to vamp a little. I wanted to drink some coffee.
We went back and forth, and then
that was really cool. It was a really cool moment, and twitch.tv/thebasementgamer GAMR.
Is that a plug?
I never really thought I would
get
make
money
any
from
money
it
from this.
Yeah.
So the fact that I've done it once already.
No, it's incredible.
Really cool.
Very big accomplishment. It's quite, as I'm sure most people know who are in kind of any form of freelancing or content creating career, it's a lot of hustling essentially and just like trying really hard in hopes that it'll pay out. So to even like see anything from it is like a huge accomplishment for sure.
Yeah.
And it's very exciting. Very happy for you.
Hey, thanks.
You're welcome.
No happenings for you.
Nothing recently.
Okay.
Not really.
Wow. Fucking.
I mean, we can get like depressing, but I don't think the branding really isn't there for that. We're not in the sunshine yellow then. But I'm trying to think of any like hair stories since that is what we started with. I know we don't need to talk about hair for the whole thing, but I do remember in high school I tried like every method possible to dye my hair because my mom wasn't really a fan of bleaching my hair. So she was like, we're going to try everything else before that. So
I feel like you're going to need to bleach your hair soon.
I know the brown's really growing out. I know it's really long, but I don't know. I always just like let it go and see what I want to do. And then that way I'm not like over bleaching and like, I definitely let it go further than people who go to hairstylists do. But for me, that's probably safe since I'm doing it myself and probably not doing it the best to begin with. But anyway, so we tried like natural methods. We tried, I know someone said to you trying to dye your hair with Kool-Aid, like that was a thing for a hot minute in high school, but it only worked on people who had blonde hair, obviously, because you're like barely putting any kind of color on your hair. I resulted to just using like clip-ins hair. Like I would like have like fake hair in my hair. I started doing that because literally like my mom was trying to do everything but bleach my hair. And then finally after like years of me begging her, we bought a bleach kit from a brand I won't mention, but I have very rarely had good experiences with.
Fucking just sling them through the mud.
But no, I don't really care. It's literally the most like widely available brand and it's the cheapest, hence why a lot of people go for it. And it's called Splat, but it's shit. It's so bad.
You're never gonna get.
That's fine. I don't want to put it in my hair ever again. So it might have changed. Technically, this is me speaking on something from 4 or 5 years ago. But
longer than that.
Well, I mean, in high school, I used it all through high school.
Right.
That's true. I guess 5 or 6 at this point. But anyway,
maybe even 6 or 7.
Maybe the formula changed. Okay.
That's very possible.
That's very possible, and I would hope so because I would hope with like, I mean, I don't pay a ton more for the brand I use now. So probably, hopefully they changed. But anyway. I bought a bleach kit from them and I bought hair dye. My mom was super nervous about it. We bleached my hair and no joke, I get in the shower to like wash out the bleach. My hair could stretch. It like I don't know how to explain it because it was the weirdest sensation of my life, but I like borderline almost started crying and was like, we have to shave my head because my hair felt so disgusting for months. It literally like my hair had now a stretch to it that did not exist before. And like when you put your fingers through, like I know my hair already doesn't feel the best, like it's pretty dead, but like you can at least get your fingers through my hair. At that time, it was like it was a mess. It was the worst experience I've ever had, and I literally almost contemplate. I think within like 4 months, I cut my hair really short because I like couldn't deal with it. It destroyed the shit out of my hair, and it wasn't even like that worth it. Like the color, it was just a whole whatever experience for my hair to feel like shit for months, and then finally I just like chopped it all off. It was a very upsetting experience, but then it kind of led to me just doing like box dye again until college when I finally took the leap to like actually get it professionally bleached. So yeah, it was a really sad experience, but it's fine. I found my place in weirdly toned natural dyes that are box dyes. So yeah, but it was sad day.
I used to just shave my head all the time.
Yeah.
So no funny hair stories for me. I think the worst was but
yeah.
quotes around that. My dad used to always shave my head. It was like middle of summer. And I was like, why don't we just do it a little shorter so we don't have to worry about it? Like, I'm not going to school. Nobody really sees me. It's hot. And I wear hats a decent bit between playing baseball or, like, work and, like, stuff like that. So I was like, I really don't care what it looks like. Just so we don't have to do it as much. And I think normally with my hair we do a 3 or a 4. And that time we decided to do a 2.
Oh, shit. That's short.
It was real short.
That's like almost just completely shaving it.
Almost. Not quite, but almost. It was really short.
Was it weird?
And I didn't like it. Yeah. I was like,
I was gonna say, it is funny.
I'm not ready to be bald.
Yeah,
like
it is funny to think about because obviously buzzing it, it's like, oh, you just kind of do a pass over everything and it's like super short and you don't think about it, but like still the difference between that and literally just like not having hair is so drastic. It's crazy.
4. Sure. All right. Moving on to our first topic.
Hell yeah.
All right. Movies. Do people watch them?
This has been really sad lately.
Are they good?
We're about to get sad.
Should we watch movies and will we find movies to be good as well?
Apparently not.
Yeah, so we watched 3 movies in 2 days. Mondays and Tuesdays work out as nice.
Good movies.
Work out as nice movie nights for Shelby and I because we don't have work. And we stay up until 6 we stop streaming by midnight typically. So we have like a full 6 hours of
which
our
is
day.
a solid 2 to 3 movies, like a nice 2 movies and then some other YouTube or whatever. It's like perfect.
Yeah. So we watched 3 movies in 2 days. And the first movie that we watched was Fantastic Beasts and the Crimes of Grindelwald.
Yeah.
Now, we watched the first Fantastic Beasts movie. I remember liking it, but that was a long time ago. I really don't remember a whole ton about it.
Nope.
But we were just like, oh, this movie's
fun.
on HBO Max.
Yeah.
Like, we always dig the Harry Potter world.
Yeah.
Let's jump into it. Though, I will say, shout out to J.K. Rowling for being a stupid, transphobic bitch.
Yeah, basically.
Like, yeah, just
like what the
worst
fuck?
takes online that you can possibly find. So fuck her. But we watched the movie and it was not good.
No.
It wasn't a good movie.
No.
It didn't make me say like, wow, I can't wait for a third. There's definitely going to be a third. Or at least they have it set up to be that way. We'll watch it, I'm sure.
To finish the story.
Just because. Yeah. But overall.
Yeah, it wasn't very exciting. I don't know. I clearly the first one hinted at there being a second one, but honestly, if I would have not known there was a second one, I probably could have happily lived with just seeing the first one and it was like a cool peek into like the before.
Well, like the Grindelwald story, like is like cool because like it's like young Dumbledore story and all that stuff. Like,
yeah,
it's fine, but it wasn't done.
No.
Extremely well.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Or made to be extremely interesting.
Mm-mm.
Like all the Harry Potter movies are good, and I guess maybe that's because they're actually written and created off of the books.
Yeah.
Whereas Fantastic Beasts, I think, is a book that's about this thick. And
it's like a short story.
Yeah, and I don't think it jumps into like all this extra crap that Rowling just literally like just wakes up one day and she's like, oh yeah, Dumbledore's gay, and then she tweets that, and then it's immediately canon and like a part of like the actual story.
Yeah.
And it's just like she has too much power. So yeah, like that kind of stuff happens all the time, and that's how like these like extra small stories were created and stuff, and it's just like very confusing because like she's trying to make it that there's lore and backstory and stuff, but like
there's not really, like you're kind of making it up as you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, or like if it is there, like there's not enough depth for a movie, or there's not enough depth for 3 movies. Like just let it be what it needs to be and like be done with it. Whatever. Yeah, it was pretty whatever experience, which is really sad because I'd say both of us, but I know especially me, like I will fall into like anything that's like fantasy related. Like we talked about that with The Hobbit. I will literally fall for that shit so fast. But like it was just like whatever. Like it was a very whatever experience. Like I was just like, this isn't like uber exciting. I mean, yeah, sure, I'll stare at Eddie Redmayne for another 2 hours, but like
Like his character is not good in the movie.
It's
He's just
okay.
So fucking like squirrely and just weird.
Yeah, and like that's the point, but like, and it was fine for the first movie. Like it felt like it had purpose.
It did well. This movie was just annoying.
Yeah, it was weird. I don't know. Whatever. Second movie, we'll try not to like stay on these too long because it's just gonna be us being like bad the whole time. Was Scoob, correct?
Yes.
Which another letdown. Obviously, these are all gonna be letdowns.
Yeah. And I think we were hoping for a lot from Scoob, but yeah, just overall it was not great. And you know, it's got a 49% on Rotten Tomatoes, so maybe we shouldn't have expected too much from it. But let's just jump into this. I
think we kind of talked about this while streaming a couple days ago, whatever, and someone had said, like, I heard it wasn't good and it was too hyped. And, like, I guess necessarily if that was the score, it clearly wasn't, like, hyped. I think there was just a lot of excitement because, and I think I said this while we were streaming, it's a movie that it's capitalizing on nostalgia, like all the Disney re-releases are doing. And it's, like, the original like live action movie that came out in 2002, like that was like perfect for our age group. Like I mean the show was huge. The movie came out, that was huge. It was so exciting. Like I mean I'm pretty sure I still have that movie on DVD. Like very big moment, very exciting, a very cool story that like was carried through for people our age. And so to like now bring it back out like everyone else is doing now that we're in our 20s, maybe up to 30s roughly, it's like a really good idea. But it was like, look, what has happened to story writing? Like, are we bored?
I don't know. It was not a good story.
Are we oversimplifying things at this point? Like, I don't understand. It's like, and I understand the idea of Scooby-Doo and like the whole Mystery Inc. isn't a complex idea. I get it. It's like cut and paste. They do the same thing every episode. And I get that. It's just
like any other crime show.
Yeah, but like, I can still watch other crime shows and like get like I understand it's copy paste, but I can still enjoy it. This was just like there was like nothing to it. Like I was like, what are we watching right now?
Yeah, I mean like they weren't just like wandering into a mystery and finding the ghost and taking off the mask and all that stuff. Yeah, it was a disappointment, and kind of like you said, like you know. I personally was a big fan of the live action.
Yeah.
From 2002, I believe, is when it came out.
Yeah. Every time I hear 2002, I think of the Anne Marie song. But she's like, that you don't like, that is the song mashups of all the other songs. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. And, you know, like, that was something that I watched
a lot.
A ton of times. Yeah. Really liked it. This one, like you said, not a good story or anything. The cast. The cast. Oh my god.
Our fucking apartment. Okay.
Do I just go?
Yeah.
Zac Efron.
Yeah.
Will Forte. Gina Rodriguez. Amanda Seyfried. Mark Wahlberg. Ken Jeong, Frank Welker, who I believe has always been the voice of Scooby-Doo, Jason Isaacs, Gina Rodriguez, Kiersey Clemens, Tracy Morgan. This was a really good cast. I mean, it's got like a ton of people.
They got a lot of big people.
Simon Cowell. I don't know if I said that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they had a lot of big people. The worst part, Shaggy.
Oh, man.
What are we doing here?
Literally, oh, man.
Oh, man, Scoob.
Wait, so they got the original voice of Scooby,
I
but they
believe so.
didn't get Shaggy?
Yeah. Frank Welker. Oh, Frank Welker is best known for voicing Fred Jones in the Scooby-Doo franchise since its inception in 1969, and Scooby-Doo himself since 2002. So he's been the voice of Scooby-Doo since 2002.
So, like, but since it's been big, basically. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it was big
prior, but like for our generation, like what we would have known most likely.
Yeah, but yeah, really, really good cast. But the fact that they couldn't get Matthew Lillard, and apparently didn't even ask him to be Shaggy. He is Shaggy. I
mean, for a voice that is so specific, like so specific, it, as soon as I heard it, and it's like, it's hard because it's like, obviously as an actor, that's like asking a lot to be like, hey, we need you to like really bring this voice forward in a way that like everyone who's watched this is going to recognize and appreciate. It's a super specific voice, and so like obviously not like bashing on the actor, but like it didn't sound, it sounded like it just didn't sound like it. It sounded close, but at times you would just be like, ugh, that wasn't quite it. You know?
Yeah, there were parts, like you said, where it was fine, but there were times where it felt like he was trying too hard. If he would have just gone, if Will Forte would have just gone in and been Will Forte, it probably would have worked. It just wouldn't have been the same. Matthew Lillard, I looked it up. He's been the voice of Shaggy. He was Shaggy in the 2 live action movies. So 2002, 2004, and then he's now been the voice of Shaggy since 2009. So he 10 years.
Is the voice of Shaggy.
Yeah, he is now Shaggy. I don't understand
why you would change that. I don't know, whatever. But it was also, yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously the cast was like a very good cast, clearly. But it was also, it's like, it's funny hearing like Zac Efron be Fred.
Yeah.
And Mark Wahlberg be another big character in the movie. It's just, it's like funny and weird. Yeah, I don't know. It was whatever. Again, story. I'm like, what are we getting here? Like nothing.
Yeah. The 0 for 2.
Yeah.
Is what we were.
And you want to know what made it 0 for 3? Well, this wasn't as intense as the first 2, in my opinion.
No. This was unfortunate. This was
like
movie.
0.5 for 3.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't if we would have just seen this, we would have been like, okay. But I think the fact that we had a night of failure and then we were like, this is gonna be better, I think we put a little too much faith into it. What was it called? Old Guard?
The Old Guard.
The Old Guard on Netflix. In this instance, the concept, in my opinion, was so cool. Like, I loved the idea of it. Again, I'm like a sucker for like all sorts of shit like this. So the idea behind it, I thought was really, really cool. And I was like, this is gonna be great. And
real quick, the synopsis on Google is a group of mercenaries, all centuries old immortals with the ability to heal themselves, discover someone is onto their secret, and they must fight to protect their freedom. You get a glimpse of it in the trailer. It looks really cool.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, you're good. I won't say too much because I do believe it is newer to Netflix.
It is, yeah.
Obviously. But one, I loved the characters. They were all like really individual and like cool, and like obviously they're all badasses and like they've seen shit in life, so they're all like hardcore. But they also still have like a lot of humanity in them, which is something that sometimes in these kinds of storylines don't exist anymore. Which in ways that was kind of the inner struggle with still seeing that, but like they still had it in a lot of ways. And yeah, so like there was a lot of really cool things to it. It was just like in the end you were kind of like, okay, Like, okay, it was an experience, you know?
Yeah.
It wasn't bad, it wasn't great. It was, again, a really cool concept that we might just be like nitpicking it at this point again because we had seen two bads.
I don't know about that. I think it was a really cool concept. I just don't think they delivered on it. I think the like overall writing of it was just kind of meh.
Yeah.
For what they were, they're immortals, right? Like they can die. That didn't really show up and wasn't cool until probably like the last 20-30 minutes of the movie. Probably last 20 minutes of the movie. You finally saw them like exploiting that a little bit. Like you would think they would have done that the entire movie. There wasn't
like these are
there
four
wasn't enough
badass people.
There wasn't enough action in my opinion. There wasn't like enough good choreographed fights, but when they had them, they were good. They were really good.
Yeah.
And I just feel like that's what the whole movie should have been.
Yeah.
So to get into ratings, 82% on Rotten Tomatoes. I think that's a little high. 70% on Metacritic. That's probably a little bit closer.
I would say anywhere from a 70 to 80 is probably about where I can see it sitting.
6.7 out of 10. I would maybe agree with that one the most. Charlize Theron is the main bad bitch, as she always is.
She's always she's awesome. So great.
And she's good in this movie, but overall, it just kind of fell a little flat for me. It's a 2-hour movie that I would say, out of the 3,
best.
Go ahead and watch this movie. It's still, I think, worth giving a watch. The ending may have set up for
a possible second.
Yeah, which I don't like them forcing these things anymore, but so maybe that was another reason why I kind of hated it. But yeah, I don't know. You might be right. Might have been a little bit of nitpicking on our part because of other bad
But
movies,
no, I agree with what you're saying.
I think
yeah.
If we would have watched this, and if we would have like watched Avengers and then watched the other Avengers and then we're like, okay, we need a third movie to watch. Oh, let's watch The Old Guard. This would have by far been the worst.
Yeah. Oh,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and in this one, it probably would have felt even flatter for us. We would have been like, oh my God. Like, so it both benefited and I think was hurt by the fact that we watched bad movies.
Yeah. I get that.
But here we go. Better or worse than Extraction, that Chris Hemsworth movie?
I would say better.
I would say better. So,
yeah, it was absolutely a better, I mean, it was absolutely a better concept from the beginning. Just like interest wise, like there was more depth to it. They could have just done
so much more with the whole thing of like they literally can't die.
They're like basically superheroes. Yeah, no,
they could have.
I agree.
There's so much more I would want to say.
I almost like, and you had hinted at this. I mean, the whole concept is like these people have lived lifetimes, like. Especially the main woman who's like was the first immortal. We don't know when she originated, but they keep hinting like way back. Like we can't even put a war to like give a time of when she was from, but like way back. So this woman is old. And you get like hints at it. It like hints back to little fights she was a part of, and they mention it.
They'll show like an old war photo or something,
and so
like it's her, but in like revolutionary.
So
getup.
The idea is she's like the ultimate warrior. She's learned every form of fight. She's been a part of every turn of the century. She's been a part of every big change in society. Like she's been there. And you almost said this. You're like, it almost would have been cool to kind of see how they came together, how they met over the years, because it's like, of course, their whole idea is they're all warriors. So a lot of what they used to signal time was they were like, oh, I realized it in this war. Like they probably died in that war, but realized they couldn't die. Mm-hmm. And so that was the big thing was, oh, it was this war, it was this war, it was this war. That's what they used to signify changing in time. And yeah, so I could almost, instead of a second, like if they almost did essentially a prequel, which would probably be weird for a one-off movie, but like, yeah, if they just focused on like the changing of time and the people they interacted with.
And the different wars that they fought in and
that
stuff.
Would be...
And they could have had they could have had significant historical figures.
Yeah.
Like if they fought in like the Revolutionary War, like Washington could have been there and like shit like that. Like all cool stuff that they could have done, and like
I mean, they brought up like the witch trials. They brought up they brought up things,
so many different things, and like so many historical outcomes that wouldn't have happened if like the immortals wouldn't have been there. Mm-hmm. Cool. I'm really glad we talked about it while watching a fucking C-grade movie.
Are you mad?
Yeah. All right. That does it for our movie talk this week.
If you have any recommendations.
Yeah, always.
Because we're struggling.
Yeah, we need some movies to watch. Specifically movies, where we have plenty of shows that we need to get into. So we'll probably be talking about a new show by the time the next podcast comes around. We have a show to talk about, but before we get into that, is there something you want to talk about?
Are you talking about my conspiracy theory thing?
Wow, that was a really good segue. Oh my god.
I'll take that as a yes. Thank you. I'll try to keep this short, but I have fallen into I'm going to say conspiracy theory, but I don't think the people who post about these things like to be called conspiracy theorists, but largely the conspiracy theory rabbit hole of Instagram. Mm-hmm. This has probably been a group on Instagram that has existed for a while, and I just haven't really been aware of it. I've been changing up the content I pay attention to. These are people who like to do very in-depth research, gather information, and then each of their like posts is generally around a topic or something of the sort. And most of them, at least the ones that I've been recently reading, have been kind of like society, culture, government, a lot of like the wrongdoings of individuals and groups and whatnot. And it has been a very eye-opening experience, not because it's not like I didn't know these things existed before. I do enjoy listening to like a wide range of like information. So like I've definitely heard of a lot of these things, but I've just never been like an in-depth research person. I'm kind of lazy, I'm gonna be honest. But it's been a very eye-opening experience because I'm trying to diversify the opinions I listen to on social media. Mm-hmm. I have very much pigeonholed myself into listen to the same people and the same things over and over again. And that's in different ways. That's in who people are, what their political views are, what this, and this are. And so me doing this has also been a part of that. And it's been hard because there are some rabbit holes that they go down that I like from the minute they start saying something, I immediately want to be like, there's no way I'm going to agree with literally anything you're going to say. There's a certain account, I would look it up, but my phone died, so I don't know. But they are, I believe they call themselves an X-Vaxxer. So they aren't an anti-vaxxer, but they're an X-Vaxxer. They're like a hardcore Trump supporter, and they are a very hardcore Christian believer, which are three things I am okay with to an extent. Like I can like talk, I'm fine. Like people can believe and do whatever they want for their own selves, obviously. But it's been very hard putting all three of those in a very passionate person together and me reading things without getting like extremely bothered. Mm-hmm. But I think that's been part of it almost is a kind of, I've had the realization where it's like, if I don't listen or at least hear what people have to say, like you're never gonna like, I think it comes down to trying to understand other people's ways of thinking is the way I've taken this. So it's been crazy. There's a lot of shit on there I probably don't agree with. And it's not conspiracy theory based. It's like they clearly have an agenda they believe in, and that kind of drives the information they look for. It drives the information they post. I'm not stupid. I understand there's always, shut up. I understand there's always motivation behind what someone's spreading and what someone's saying. That goes for me because I'm going to go in with a bias and what I believe and what I see. They're going to go in with a bias, what they believe, what they see. And it's just, it comes down to that. So it's like taking everything as a grain of salt, doing your own research, doing what you believe in, et cetera, et cetera. But it's been crazy.
Yeah. I do not like conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
Because I know they're a dangerous rabbit hole.
They are a very dangerous rabbit hole.
I think Facebook had Facebook or YouTube had a team that specifically finds conspiracy theories and like the information and like will let like no, this information is incorrect, like stuff like that. People who like comb and sift through that kind of stuff. And these people who have to continuously sift through the same conspiracy theory over and over again, eventually start to believe it.
Well, yeah.
And then they get fired because they can't do their job anymore.
Yeah.
And, I definitely think you should always ask questions and stuff like that. And I think so far what you're doing is good. But like...
Are you nervous?
Yeah, I'm definitely nervous. Because it's really easy to find that one thing that kind of resonates with you.
Yeah, definitely.
The way I always go about them is, like you said, always listen to them, always hear them out. And then it just comes down to, okay, I don't know for a fact whether or not this is right or wrong.
Right.
So if it's one or the other, so like if they're saying that like it is one way or they're saying it's not one way, right? I have to think about that and say to myself, do I really care? Which is what so many things in life come down to.
Yeah.
Do you really fucking care?
Oh, I mean, yes, absolutely.
It's how I feel about like most things.
Yeah.
Like I would say, like most political views.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I have an example, but yeah, like like equal rights. So like gay marriage.
Mm-hmm.
Do I really fucking care if gay people are getting married?
Oh,
no. Why would I? Why would I care? Like,
right.
Why would that bother me?
Right.
I don't care.
Right.
So let it happen.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So, is the government listening to me right now? I don't really fucking care. So if they are, it's fine. If they are, they've been doing it for years. They haven't heard anything interesting yet.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things.
I
think that's how so many conspiracy theories are.
Yeah.
Then there are ones that are super fucked.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, I just hope that's not real.
That's kind of...
Because
yeah.
I don't want to just immediately go, that's real. There was 2 pieces of evidence, so that's got to be how it is. I never want to fall into that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically, I just ride a fine line of, I live in the reality that I live in.
Yeah.
It's either I'm okay with it, or I hope.
I really hope that's not real.
The reality that they're pushing
is
if it actually going on.
If it is real, something's done about it. Like
well,
that's just...
Let's
not get crazy.
Yeah.
No, I think I've started to... Basically, that is where I sit. And I also sit on the side of... And this is kind of sad, but at this point, it won't shock me either way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I am a person who's constantly playing like devil's advocate, trying to see the other side, trying to understand how people can see differently, trying to constantly look at all sides of things. So I constantly am like, yeah, it could go either way. Absolutely. Like, I'm constantly that person who's like, yeah, well, yeah. You're not gonna blow my mind away if it's real or not real. Because at this point, I'll believe either. And it's not I'm gonna sit here and blindly believe either, but it's like if a true statement or a true fact or like we can confirm something is real, I'm gonna go, okay, yeah, you were correct, you were right, like, yeah, I believe you. Like, I don't know, it's a dangerous place to dive into, very clearly, and especially being a curious and generally pretty open person that I am, I know I probably do have the definite ability of falling into things. But that's why you're here to reality check me like all the time. But also, yeah, it's being open, and it's something that like I just enjoy being at least somewhat aware and not just blindly ignorant.
Woke. You're so woke.
I hate that. I literally hate that. But yeah.
Do you know what's extremely woke?
What?
A little TV show that we just got done watching.
Yeah.
Called Rick and Morty.
Yeah, that shit's woke.
It's a little too woke sometimes.
It's very on the nose.
It is. It's so on the nose. So we just watched all 3 seasons. I know they're on the 4th season, I think, right now. That's not on HBO, though, so we can't binge it. But yeah, all 3 seasons of Rick and Morty, we watched it extremely fast.
Yeah.
There aren't a ton of episodes. They're short as well, so you can kind of just burn right through them. And it is, like, so many people say it to begin with, but it is a really good show.
Yeah.
Really well done.
Very well written.
Yeah. And you already said it. It's just on the nose about so many things. It's very funny. It's very in your face about certain things. It's a really, 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 really good show. And if you haven't already, and you haven't already been recommended it, I recommend you watch Rick and Morty.
Yeah, I was actually surprised at how much I enjoyed it. I'm very picky with comedy, and especially like I'm always on the fence if I should watch like BoJack Horseman and shit like that. I know I hear fantastic
Like cartoons.
Yeah, but like not all like this is different though, because it's like in your face commentary essentially, but still being funny and inappropriate. It's like a different
That's
group.
exactly how BoJack is.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like this falls into a different category of cartoons, I would say. Like it's not like just watching cartoons.
An adult cartoon.
Yeah, I guess, whatever. But I'm always like on the fence with these because it's like sometimes they're just too stupid for me. But like I don't know, yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed it. It was very funny. Rick constantly burping makes me want to die. I hate it. But other than that. But I also
hate that.
I also get it. It's part of his character. Like, yeah. I get it. Whatever. I'm not, like, mad about that it's part of his character. It's just a noise that bothers me.
You're mad about it?
Mad about it. But, yeah.
That's all we have to say about, I think, that without... I mean, what is there to really jump into?
Oh, my God. You literally can't.
Yeah. But definitely that was the good that we watched recently.
Yeah.
Amidst the
it
bad.
Also, it just... I don't know the people who created the show or whatever.
Dan Harmon and Justin Roiland.
It felt like a show that someone really enjoyed making. Mm-hmm. And that is like really cool to like get that feeling. Like it definitely feels like they have fun doing it. Yeah, and it felt like a crazy fun creative project that a lot of work went into. A lot of randomness was thrown in there to just be experimental, or let's say fuck it, let's have fun, let's be weird. And it was fun. Like you could get that from watching it, and I like really appreciate that, where it's like I'm enjoying these more like out there shows, because like I said, like what is story writing anymore? I feel like it's so copy and paste anymore. It's very refreshing to get something that truly feels creative.
I agree.
So yeah.
All right. Anything else
that's happening?
I don't know if there's anything else that's happening, but is there anything else to, I don't know, talk about?
Are you talking about Bugsnax?
Ooh.
There haven't been any updates.
Of course, we are talking about our favorite PS5 next gen game, Bugsnax, and as Shelby has already pointed out, I don't think there's been any new news since the BioShock,
play like system.
But
is this gonna be the first game you get for your PS5?
I don't know. Maybe not.
You now have people, anyone who like just listens to the podcast and doesn't hang out on Twitch, we talk about Bugsnax almost every time we stream. And it has now come to the point that people are like, you will be streaming this game. Because now you have set our expectations to a level, because we keep talking about it. And you will play this game so that we can all experience this together. Because we have been talking about it since it was announced.
It's honestly just so beautiful. The trailer is so perfect. Apparently, the game was accidentally like teased 6 years ago.
What?
Yeah.
Really? And just no one like paid attention, or it was just kind of ignored pretty quickly? Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah. That's really the only news.
That's funny.
Like, hey, dummy, it was in your face 6 years ago.
And you didn't pay attention.
I wasn't on social media really, so.
That's true.
But yeah. You're right. I've set up myself as kind of the Bugsnax guy. Amongst those we know.
Do you still hang out?
I'm actually really excited for it.
No, I mean, it looked crazy from the beginning. I was like, this is going to be a weird game. And obviously the more we talk about it, I'm just like, and hearing, obviously all we know is the BioShock aspect, but like just even doing that, I'm like...
The fact that we just don't know anything about it.
It's fun.
With like knowing what we know about it, I'm just like...
Hell yeah, sign me up.
Might as well. I'll jump blindly into it. Fuck it.
Are you still on the Reddit page for it?
I am still on the Reddit.
Is it growing at all, or is it just like still like the same?
I think we got, a couple thousand.
Oh,
I
shit.
have no idea.
Oh.
I don't know. It was under 1,000 the last time I was in there. I
was
don't
gonna say,
check it every day.
when you signed up, it was only a couple hundred.
Normally the post is just like,
hey, Bugsnax is still a thing.
We still talking about Bugsnax? You
Bugsnax,
versus the game she told you not to worry about, and then like the person is like Horizon, and the person she told you not to worry about is Bugsnax. Yeah. You got people like walking, the thing where people are walking down the street and the guy's like turning, looking at Bugsnax while walking with Spider-Man Miles Morales. All kinds of like memes and stuff like that. I think some people are memeing it because they don't actually care about it and they just like want to be a part of it. But then there are people who are more into it than me. I made the joke that it could be a legitimate Game of the Year contender. I don't think it'll actually be that, but I do actually think it'll be a good game.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to surprise people, and I hope it surprises people, and I hope it is actually good. Yeah.
Lots of hopes.
Lots of hopes and dreams.
All to be explored on twitch.tv/TheBasementGamer GAMR.
GAMR. You gotta do it faster than that. You said /, just get rid of that. Just say /. People will know.
Anyways, thank you all so much for listening.
As always, if anything's going on, feel free to let us know on our social medias. Slide on into those DMs and just let us know. And we are more than happy to share it. If you have any content that you think we should watch and talk about, or any stories that we should talk about, not even within your own life, also let us know those as well. And anything else to say, Shelby?
I don't think so.
Okay. Follow us on YouTube. Give us a rating on wherever you're listening to this. Share it with some friends who you think would like it. And we will see you guys either next Saturday on YouTube for whatever stupid hijinks we get into, or right back here in 2 weeks for some more What's Happening podcast. I hate you.